What's up, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Attacker, entitled Giants of Canaan. This is released on Metal on Metal Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Weehawken, New Jersey, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very fantasy-fueled, old-school, traditional style of heavy metal and power metal. When you think of this band, one particular album comes to mind, and that is their 1985 debut album entitled Battle at Helm's Deep. That album was pretty much one of the few old school Metal Blade Records releases that really showcased the real metal underground of the heyday. And that record had so much triumphant stuff going on. I mean, just such colorful vibes, great lyrics, just so much epic stuff going on for this band. The visual themes, the concepts, the lyrics, the singing, the musicianship. That really was, to many, a classic and a masterpiece amongst US power metal enthusiasts and heavy metal enthusiasts too. Even their sophomoric effort from 1988, The Second Coming, even though that was a different record in its own right, many people consider it to be something very special in its own right. Then, as the 90s approached, and then the later 2000s, there seemed to be a bit of an impasse with this band. Members passing away, versions of the band trying to get reformed. Then moving on in the 2000s to 2004, I want to say, Attacker was revamped with a different lineup of sorts, and therefore released the album Soul Taker, which pretty much was a return to business as usual, pretty much keeping up the Attacker sound but adding a little bit of a new vibe and feeling to it. Even 2006's The Unknown had that same sort of trait going on. Now, fast forwarding to 2013, we have the fifth full length from this band entitled Giants of Canaan. I believe this album came out towards the very beginning of 2013, but I've been hearing a lot of my good local buddies tell me about this record, and I decided to finally give this a full listen or two, and now here I am getting ready to talk about it. It's 11 tracks, and it clocks in at around 51 and a half minutes in length. And I gotta say, as far as their 2000s material is concerned, this is pretty much their best work yet. Of course, nothing will ever top, in my opinion, the debut that is Battle of Helm's Deep, but as far as now is concerned, this is some incredibly fun stuff. And if you're into old school heavy metal, or just any kind of great traditional metal, Attacker get the job done and deliver something very, very entertaining. The guitar work on here has a very gliding and almost triumphant type of vibe throughout the entire record. As soon as you hear the opening riffs of the title track, to even songs like The Hammer and Curse the Light, you get some really awesome riff work. I mean, it's nothing that's reinventing the wheel per se, but just the way these riffs are being delivered just sound amazing. I just love the triumphant feeling that the guitars have, just the way the riffs and the guitar melodies sound. I think they're amazing. The solos are fun too. I'm really enjoying the way that the solos are being executed here. Very emotional, very powerful stuff to be heard here. The bass guitar sounds very good too. Very clear, very crisp. I just love that tone that it brings to this entire record. It's not overly dominating, but yet still, I think the bass guitar gets the job done here. Definitely has a little bit of an underlying vibe to the heaviness of the guitars that are going on here. Drum-wise, I think the drums are very old school sounding here. I'm really enjoying the way that the drums are being played. Very much, you hear a little bit of a gallop going on within the snare and kick. I really enjoy that about this drum style, and I'm really enjoying the pace of the drums. It can be fast one moment, and then it can be very patient and methodical towards another. But the drums maintain a very good and steady pace throughout, very very lively and very hardworking. I'm really enjoying this drummer's style. And now we get to the vocals. From what I understand, this is a new singer, and this guy has some really good pipes to him. I'm hearing a little bit of Metal Church and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest influences going on within this guy's vocal range. And he definitely delivers the goods here. Just the way he delivers his lyrics, the way he says everything, the way he sings, and the way he screams. It's awesome. It definitely gives you that old school heavy metal kind of vibe and feel going on, and I think it's really cool. This guy has an awesome vocal range, and it's definitely one of the major standouts of this record for me. Um, yeah, it is a 51.5 minute long album, so bear in mind this is something that you really need to just have the patience to just listen to. No skipping past anything. You got to really let the whole album engulf you and just give you an idea of the story and epicness that is being told within this album's concept and within the lyrics. I think it's really cool and it's a really fun listen. So overall, this is another really awesome example of how classic heavy metal of today should really sound, and Attacker are getting the job done with this album. It's a fun record, fun musicianship, great lyrics, just an overall fun listen. Fun if you love old school heavy metal for sure. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say the title track, Trapped in Black, The Hammer. That's probably one of my favorite songs off of this album. Uh, Black Wind's Calling, to even the closing two tracks of this album, Born into Battle and The Glen of the Ghost. Those are two 6-minute long tracks, and they really are a fitting finale for this record. So, again, the album is Giants of Canaan by Attacker. This is released on Metal Records. Go check it out if you're into old school heavy metal or power metal, and I'm going to give this a very strong 8 out of 10. Really fun listen. Awesome band doing what they do best. Attacker are awesome. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Army Hello out.